Welcome and good afternoon. Thank you for all of those that have made it on time. I'm sure we're going to be letting people into the room as we go forwards. How many of you would like to have more confidence when selling? And how many more people would like to feel authentic when handling an objection when the next time that arises? I'm Elizabeth, and today we are going to be talking about mastering objection handling and sales in the canine industry. Before we get started though, everyone that's joining me on the Facebook page, hello, and all of those that are here live with me, thank you. I can see some people just dropped off and dropped back in. I just want you to first of all reach up in the air, bend your arms and pat yourself on the back. You've made the time and the commitment for your business to be here. You absolutely rock. In this class today, we're going to be going through the 3 incredible tools that I learned over a decade ago now that I've implemented in different industries so that you can feel super confident in the next objection that comes your way. And also tools to make you feel more certain when you're in that selling environment for your business. I'm also going to give you tools and tips so that you can build rapport with your clients rather than breaking that connection whilst we're doing that too. So who am I? I'm Elizabeth Hack. A little bit about me. I am an expert speaker, trainer and facilitator. I've been doing this training for different businesses for the past kind of 8 years. I'm also a qualified dog groomer. I've been a qualified dog groomer for the last 14 years. Jeepers. And I'm also very proud to have just recently become a mother. This is my son in the bottom left-hand corner here, looking very funky with his sunglasses. And why I'm here and speaking with canine professionals is I just have this passion that if I can serve and look after the people that look after the dogs of our world, then I can just raise the bar of the industry, because there's too often there's self-doubt within the canine industry. There's people not charging what they're worth. And I just want to be your advocate. I want to be here to serve you. So on this call today, I'm going to be talking about objection handling and sales tactics. And when I say sales tactics, it's from a place of love and certainty. It's how can we sell an owner that what we are delivering as services are important to them and their dog. I'm not here to hoodwink anyone, and I know that sales can sometimes be a really ugly term, but I'm here today to give you the permission to sell yourself because you're worth it. Pretty good, right? Give me a jazz hands if you're with me. Yes, thank you, thank you. And if you are watching this on replay, can you just comment below on the Facebook page replay so I know that you're listening in to us. As a new mother, I do stumble over my words. The point of my trainings are just to give you certainty and empathy. So if I could just let you give me that back. If I trip over a word, that's right, a word, that's mum brain in play. And yes, we are big Harry Potter fans. Hence the flying letters and the artwork on the wall. So a little bit of an insight into my world. Before we get going, I'd love for us to take a couple of moments to really think about what we do as a professional. So Shirley, I know that you're a trainer and a dog walker, and I've gone through people that have registered for this course, and I've got a big array of like vet physios and trainers and groomers in this group. So this first exercise, I want you to take a couple of moments writing time just to write down a few benefits of what you do for your clients. And if you need to, write down a success story. Think about a dog that was in pain, that has now had your physio treatments and has come through the other side stronger. Anyone that's catching in halfway through this, we're just doing a writing exercise of the benefits and the things that we've done in our canine business that's helped serve dogs. We're trying to build certainty. And this is it's not a webinar, it's a doinar. I'm going to get interactive with you. I'm going to start the sharing off. So from a canine perspective, I've had dogs in my care that have started with me since they were puppies. And now when they come and get groomed with me, they fall asleep on their table. I know that as a groomer, I can provide dogs the highest level of care in the comfort of their own home, and they won't feel stressed out or pushed through the churn that certain salons can have out there. Hello to everyone that's just joined us. We have just done a writing exercise on the benefits that we have created for our clients. This is to build our certainty, because when we go into a sales conversation or objection handling, when we can do that from a place of certainty, it can help build us up. From a coaching standpoint, I can speak to you from certainty because I have clients all across different niches that I've helped with their businesses from startup to already very successful, and I have helped them propel their business forwards. I've had startup businesses now turn over a six-figure income from my chiropractic space. I've had people within my dog community be able to add even just £2,000 extra a year onto what they're earning. It can make a big difference in their world. All of the girls that I've trained up underneath my care have gone on to run very successful businesses. One's actually taken her business around the UK. She was up in Scotland. Now she's in Devon, and they go back to the training that I provided for them whilst we built the salon together that was their launch point. And of all the studies that I've been doing, I was actually teaching processes and systems before I knew the reason behind the process and systems, i.e. having targets up on a whiteboard. And because if you know your numbers and know where you're aiming, then that can help you keep motivated, and just having that visual for a team is very important. Shirley, as your camera's on, I'm going to pick on you. Do you want to share with me a benefit that you have given a dog client over your time in your training and dog walking life?
Well, it would be having a happy relationship with their dog.
Absolutely. And you know, when someone inquires to come work with you, that you've got multiple happy dogs that you can lean on so that you can speak from your certainty. And I know that Shirley is an expert trainer as well, so I'm more than happy to advocate and build you up whenever you guys need it as well. So it's certainty, empathy, and care is the three elements that we want to lean on at any stage throughout objection and selling. Empathy is like truly listening to a person's objection or question, and the next three tools will really help you look like a rock star during those conversations. So the first one is called Leap Q, and this is brilliant when it can actually really help you diffuse tension. If I'm not saying you have any issues where people come at you from a negative space, but even when you feel uncomfortable about overcoming an objection, you leaning on this tool will make you look like you are genuinely concerned about what they are talking about, and you're going to really listen to them as well, which is L, listen. Everyone in this world wants to be listened to and heard. It's too often where everyone's looking at a device when somebody else is talking. And actually, the biggest way that we can serve each other, and this became very apparent during the lockdown, is people wanted to connect more. And when you're connecting, you're truly listening to the person as they are describing. So particularly if you're having a client that's objecting to a price, for example, you might want to be ready with your answer. I'm going to be tooled and ready to what I'm going to say back to them. But instead of doing that, maybe just truly listen to their concern. Second is empathize. Now, empathizing doesn't mean you always have to agree with what they're saying. If you work in a team and someone's come in and they've said, oh, your team member was horrible to my dog, you're not going to agree with them, because obviously our team members aren't. But you're just going to go, okay, I hear you. I understand. P.S. These tools are great for family life too. So, okay, I hear you. I've heard it in the listening stage. If you write down their qualms and then okay, I hear you. And then you're going to ask two very powerful questions. First of all, you're going to ask them, what is it in particular about this issue concerns you, i.e. the price, and then ask to isolate. Other than the price, is there anything else that concerns you about using my service? And this is important because if they say to you, my issue is price, and then you solve it, and then they throw another objection at you, you're then firefighting. But instead of firefighting, we want to come together with our clients and build a rapport and a launch pad to lean from. So actually that ask to isolate, is there anything else I need to know before I help you, is what makes you win in this scenario. So other than the prices, is there anything else that concerns you about working with me? Oh, I'm also not sure about the availability. Okay, great. So now you know you've got prices and availability to handle. P, problem solve. We've always got a solution to their problem. And if we don't, we can go, leave that with me and I'll get back to you. The whole purpose of problem solving and being authentic when we handle queries and issues comes down to not hoodwinking anyone. If we don't know the answer, we will find the answer, or we'll find a solution. Even if you need 24 hours to get back to them, they appreciate that. You making something up on the spot that isn't authentic to you, and so that you know where you can come from, isn't going to help either of you. But problem solve, if it's price, maybe it's that we could split the payment over 3 payments, or we could set this up as a monthly direct debit. If it's availability, did you know that, I've also got evenings and this time available to you too. Finally, question. Any kind of interaction where we are overcoming an objection can have a bit of an energy about it where we feel a bit tense. And so the energy waves are like this. A question accelerates you through it past that point. And the most golden question that can help you is, if I, would you? And that's because you're giving them a service first and then getting them to answer a question. So if I was able to get you a 3-part payment plan, would you be able to afford that and get started? You're giving them a tool and a solution, and you're going to use your solution to help you with the question to serve them to move forwards. Make sense? Can I get a jazz hands? Yes. Amazing. Sorry if you're new to my training. It's more interesting. Second thing I'm going to teach you is the FFF. Feel, felt, found. This really helps you when you need to empathize with someone. Now, feel, felt, found, when used naturally, at first when you start using it, you're going to feel a bit rickety. It's going to feel unnatural. But once you get into the rhythm of using it, you'll find that this is a perfect way to interact with clients all day, every day. And because I've done this for 10 years now, this is something I tend to use quite naturally. But at first you might need a bit of support. So here's the 3 ways that you can use feel, felt, found so you can start practicing ready for your client interactions. First of all, it's first person. How you found and had an experience based on their qualm. So I understand how you feel about leaving your dog for the first time. I felt exactly the same way when I first had my puppy and had to leave them with someone. But what I found was, as long as I trusted the person that my little one was with, I found that actually that leaving them each day got easier and easier for me. So this is how you use empathize. That's first person. Use your own stories, and I want you to use authentic stories. This is why it's really important. Every training that you attend with me, you'll notice that I get you to build and think about stories and successes that you've had. This is because I want you to share true stories, and I want you to have a repertoire of stories that you can lean on to your advantage. Second way to use feel, felt, found is in the second person. You know somebody else that was in their situation, and this is their story. Again, this is why community is really helpful, because if you don't personally have a story about a person that had to deal with a dog in this scenario, if you're talking like vet physios, it's like, a dog with a limp on the left leg. If you haven't dealt with a dog with a limp on the left leg, you may have a vet physio friend that has. So it's like, oh, yes. See, Dr. Jane I understand how you feel. Dr. Jane had the same thing when she had a client with the same ailment as this dog. They felt that their dog would never walk again. or walk confidently on that leg again. But what they found under Dr. Jane's care is after a certain amount of sessions, she came good and that lameness went. So I believe that if we take the correct course of care, we can get your dog to where it needs to be. And then finally, we've got third person. This is where you have a group of people grouped together, or a group of dogs grouped together to lead and help you with that empathizing. I totally understand how you feel. Lots of Pomeranian owners also feel that their dogs have separation anxiety once we go back to work. But what they have found is using the training methodologies that I've used multiple times with different Pomeranians is we can get them to a state of calm whilst you're away at work. Are you ready to get started? So 3 ways to use it: first person, second person, and third person. Have stories you can lean on, and you don't always have to say, I understand how you feel. Someone else felt. This is what they found. You can then start think, feel, felt, found, but then you can use it quite naturally in the way of not saying those exact 3 words. Oh, yeah, like instead of like, I understand how you feel, like, oh, I get it. Yeah, quite a few people are similar in that way. But once we get started, we can start building that momentum, and we'll find that after 5 to 10 sessions, your little one is going to feel more confident. So that's kind of feel, felt, found without being like, duh, duh, duh. So who's going to use feel, felt, found when trying to build rapport? Oh, another one, great one for like husbands. Oh, darling, I understand how you feel that you don't want to cook dinner tonight. But what I found, what seems to have happened is when you cook dinner, I felt loved and respected. So we find an amazing marriage moving forwards together. I'm plucking straws here, guys. The next one I want to talk about is when someone throws you a block. This is, they've gone, yep, I'm ready to purchase and buy this product from you, or yep, I want to start that training with you, or yes, my dog needs that physio care. And then they throw something, but I need to go home and ask my husband first. But I need to go home and check with the dog. It's something where they're along, and then suddenly they throw it. And actually, if you don't know how to handle this, that can really put you on the back foot. So when thrown a block, remember to ask. And no, I don't just not forgotten how to spell since becoming a mother. It's ASQ for a reason. I'll show you. So first, whatever the block is, we're going to agree. Staying in rapport is super important. Even if you believe that what they're saying to you is wild, and to be super wild, let me give you a strange example. I need to go home and ask my goldfish. You would agree. Of course you need to go home and ask your goldfish. You don't want to break that rapport. And then what we're going to jump up is to a solution. We're going to give a reason for the solution as well. So because I'm super busy and I've got a few clients that are really interested in getting started with me, why don't I pop you down in the diary so that we've got that next connection sorted. And then if you go home and your goldfish says no, just give me a call. I can cancel it down, no trouble at all. But at least that space is secure for you. And then the quote, again, we're trying to accelerate out of this. And the closing question, Q, is, does Tuesday or Wednesday work best for you? Does 9:45 or 2:15 work better for you? We're given an A-B close to accelerate away from that block. So blocks are real. People don't want to book a date in a diary if they don't have their diary in front of them. But if you can come from a state of service and ask them, they're going to feel like you have listened to their issue and you're going to find a solution together. So let's use the diary as an example. I don't have my diary. I don't want to book that next session in until I'm at home with my diary. Totally get it. I hate it when I don't have my diary in front of me as well. But what we'll do, just so that we can make sure that Ziggy gets his next session, is if I pop you in for Thursday, and then if you get home and your diary says Thursday's a no-go, just give me a call. I look after this day to day. I'm here to serve you and here to look after you. So Thursday, morning or afternoon, which one works best for you? Great way to leapfrog and move forwards. Remember, objections are positives because it allows us to create a solution for the owner. Everyone's day-to-day life can be up and down. if you can just have someone that just finds solutions for you, whatever problem there's a solution, you're going to want to be around those people. And we're going to serve their dogs at a much higher level if we can look after them as people, because they're busy. Who isn't busy? Hands up if you're busy. Double hands up. So busy. So just help them. And also it's important, particularly if you're a canine specialist that needs things in a rhythm, such as training or physio, it's important that dog gets that regular, consistent care. So then it's down to us to help them get their dog to us for that consistent care. We're doing it out of service. We know that their dog is going to get better if they can have that consistency. If it's, if you're a dog trainer, for example, if you see a dog once in April and the next time in November, that's not going to help that dog overcome that solution that they've come with you first. So when you're using these tools, you're just helping the owner help them and help their dogs to get to the solution that they are looking for. Remember that they came to you because you are the solution to a problem. I'm going to stop share and I wanted to open up to the floor. Has there been any time where you have wanted to use or have stumbled over an objection or a sales question and this could have helped? Or is there a certain objection that you guys normally have that I can help you with here and now? That's what I'm here for.
I get a lot of the I'll ask my partner and get back to you, but they never get back. Get a lot of that.
Nice. And what's nice about the ask is you've set something in motion and you've given them permission. You've given yourself permission to come back and get in touch with them.
Yeah,
because it's really nice, but also important that we're a welcomed guest rather than an uninvited pest. So when they go, I'll go ask my partner, and then you haven't set in agreement with them when you can get back in touch with them, what happens then? You phone them, they're ignoring you, you phone them, and then you've now just become like a debt collector, and we don't want to be that. We're here to serve, we're here to help. So yeah, I need to go home and ask if absolutely. I love checking with my partner as well. What we'll do is either get them booked in or go, when do you think you would have spoken to them, and so we can reconnect. So I can check it in my diary so I make sure that I call you. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Brilliant. And if you put that in the diary, then make sure you do the follow-up as well. Because it's like a tax. We're trying to build trust. We're trying to we do what we say we'll do for them. Oh, sorry, I just saw a message in here. Oh, nice. Christopher's asked a great question. People have issues where they've gone to previous trainers and their dog didn't get the outcome that they want, and they're scared that the training isn't going to actually work. Like, why would I work with you? Because I've gone to other places and it hasn't worked. So you'd agree, or you'd felt found. So I understand you've been to other trainers. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of those other trainers. What's really important here, guys, is we're here to elevate each other as canine professionals. I just don't think it's on to badmouth anyone. So we don't know the ins and outs when we're dealing with dogs, with another professional has dealt with that dog. So I always want you to come from a place of understanding and care, and never, ever, ever badmouth your co-professionals. So, I'm not really sure the ins and outs of what methodologies or what would work for little Ziggy with those other trainers. But what I can do for Ziggy is with this method, and then lay out what makes you special. This is I've got a tool sheet called a Wag Sheet, where we identify what makes you unique compared to other trainers, and this is where you would lean on this. So, but I have this much experience from this different arrays. I've worked specifically with this breed, with this problem, so I believe that I can help you with it. And with those owners as well, we would say, let's get your first session in, and I will assess Ziggy, and I will let you know from that session whether I believe I can serve her or whether it's not going to help. So actually giving multiple options. Nice. Based on that, I do have trainers that have been abusive. Yeah, okay. Use 1920s training methods that made clients cry, and often they are looking for me to empathize with the treatment they received. Absolutely. So yes, there was a lot of that. And what's And when they're looking for you to empathise with them. That's awful. No one had a dog, and no one paid for a professional for them to feel ridiculed or for their dog to be, upset in some way or another. So you would go, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry that happened to Ziggy. We're going to work together to make sure that doesn't happen ever again. The methods that I use are nowhere near this. There's been, this is my style of training, and I work with positive reinforcement, and what that means for the dog is, so this is feature, function, benefit. So I use positive reinforcement, so don't think that they know what that means. What this is, so feature, function, what this means is that we complement everything. We reward the dog based on positive actions, and we do this in the form of, you might use games, you might use clickers and treats. And then the benefit for Ziggy is that it's all positive. We want him to have a great time during this process. But what I can promise to you is I'll start this off with Ziggy, and then we'll see. I'll give you progress each time. And if at any stage you feel uncomfortable, communicate it to me. I'm here to work with you. I'm here to serve you. So if people are asking for empathy, give them empathy. In fact, if you just deal with every treatment, every client that you work with, imagine they're wearing a sign around their neck saying, "Make me feel special." If you have that in mind when you speak to that person, when they've dealt with another trainer that's, upset them or upset their dog, you're special to me. How can I communicate that to you in any way I can? And tell me my dog is special too. I'm a mother, so if anyone comes up to me and says how amazing my baby is, I take that on as personally. And as a dog mummy, we feel the same as well. So, Chris, do you have a message for me? Has that helped with that? And Shirley, you come from a training space. Is there anything else? Have you ever had that issue come up? And is there anything else you would suggest for Christopher?
Ooh. Mine's gone blank at the moment.
Oh no, I'm glad.
It's getting a bit warm in here, that's what it is. I think you've covered most of it. Like I said, I use games for my training. I must admit, I have encountered one person inquired, and she didn't want to use, even though I said we're using the dog's daily food allowance, she still was objective to my way of training.
Okay, so then obviously alternate methods such as, okay, we could use toys, or what would you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, I would have said toys as well, but she still wasn't. I think she was very much old school, and I'm going by what she said to me. She was very much old school, and there was no.
So what was she looking for? Was she looking for a?
Oh, I can't remember. It was a while ago. It was months ago. This was. I've got my little. Actually, I might have my little book. Right, go make a call. Let's have a look. Let's see if it's in my little note.
It's okay with clients to say,
yeah,
I don't have the solution. What you don't want to use that? What would you like? What do you propose?
She just didn't want to use food at all.
Yeah,
to train them at all. Because some of my things I use, I need food. I can use toys as well, but some things you can't. You just need to use. And for the problems she was having, food would have been better. But she didn't want to use food. So
that I would have leap cued her. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Like, I don't want to use food. Okay, I understand you don't want to use food. This is why we use food in the training. What is it in particular about using food that concerns you? Ask. Other than using food, is there anything else that concerns you? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the problems are. Okay, here's the solution. I could use toys. I could use, and then if that's not going to work and that isn't in alignment with your training, then you go, okay, I don't think I'm the right trainer for you. That's what I'll do is I'll give you a recommendation of someone that might work. It's okay to say that we're not the right people. We're not always going to be the right people for everyone.
better to have people come to you that are the right type of person for your way of doing things.
Yeah. Sorry, Christopher's message in here. Another one related: if someone is using abusive methods and you know that's damaging, how do we broach that without talking about the trainer when we have to say what they have said is wrong? It's really hard to not to inadvertently badmouth if you have to be authoritative with your answer. Great question, Christopher, and I'm so glad you asked. This is where we can lean on our education. So as trainers, we have a lot of CBP work to do. So there's books and there's research as to why those trainer methodologies are now not recommended within this space. So I would lean on your readings, and you can lean on law now, because things like prong collars have just, and electric collars have now come into force for law. And there's a reason why things go into law. Yes, it's taken a long time. I won't go into that. But you can, when highlighting the reason why we now don't use that, you don't have to badmouth the other trainer. You can just focus on, this is the research that I know about this subject, so therefore this is why I do what I do. Remember, this whole conversation with these owners is you selling yourself and how incredible you are and how kind you are in your methodologies to help them get the result that they need. I'd almost acknowledge, deflect, distract, which is another tool, guys. Just got a freebie there. ADD them. Acknowledge, deflect, distract. So I understand, I've had a trainer that's been abusive. Oh, right, that's awful. Oh, you poor thing. Deflect. Yeah, actually, I've done a lot of reading on that, and that's why I do this. And then distract. And then that's when you're accelerating back into what you do and why you do it. And actually, Christopher, there may be clients that are reaching out to you just to let it off their chest, because that's probably pretty traumatic for them if they've witnessed it. So if they just need you for an ear and you have the time, then be the ear for them. Listen to them. Chris is fine, by the way. Grand. I'm so sad you can't be on camera. It'll be much easier to interact, but I hope that I'm serving you today. Any other objections to handle? It's really helpful. I've got two trainers on right now. Oh, another point I wanted to make about prices as well. When we're handling objections and when we're speaking about our prices, being able to talk with certainty about our prices is super important. So if I go to you, how much is a session? I want you to be able to go, my session is £55. I want you to be as quick and as ready with an answer as you can. There's no need to shy away. There's an investment to be able to have us. There's an investment for you to get qualified to be able to be the professional that you are. And it can be sessions start from 55 depending on X, Y, Z. So if you have different pricing structures, then it's recommended, I recommend you to write them down regularly so that you can reel them off when asked. Also, having a PDF that you can email over to them with the pricing breakdown can also help in that scenario too. So, let's pretend that you have 3 different ways or 3 different packages you can purchase as a trainer. Then people go, okay, so what's your prices? I've actually got 3 different packages. What I'll do is I'll email them over to you. Has that hit your phone now? Yep. Okay, cool. Any questions? And you sent them over a PDF lining out all 3 prices and what's included, and then you ask them any questions. Because we don't need to be weird about prices. Everyone's got to pay. It's okay. And a bonus tip, something that came up the last time that I did a training on overcoming objections, was when people don't pay. So if we run a service and it's like a monthly subscription, monthly payment that they do, then people just aren't paying. then you are legally allowed to add a late payment charge. And the legal charge in the UK for a late payment, and it's a law called the Late Payment Law. You can charge 8% of the total bill plus the Bank of England base rate. So, and actually saying a percentage, like, okay, this hasn't been paid within the 30 days. I'm now, all late payments are subject to late payment law, which is 8% plus Bank of England charge. Whenever people hear percent, they go, oh God, that's going to be a lot. And it's not a lot. And what I'd like to do as a gift and an extra to the end of this session is to teach you how you would work that out. So there is an amazing website called percentagecal.com. Percentagecal.com. If you're not great at percentages, you can type in all your percentage needs on this website and it can help you work it out. So say someone owed you £1,000 for your services owed. By law, you can charge 8% late payment charge and plus Bank of England rate. 8% of 1,000 is £80, and the Bank of England rate, base rate right now is 4.5%, and that's £45. So that means your late payment law interest amount would be £125 for a year, 365 days. You divide 125 by 365 to work out how much their late payment is per day. So 125 divided by 365 is 34p per day. So if someone was 50 days late of paying their invoice to you, they'd have a late payment charge of £17. And if they quibbled it, you are by the letter of the law. So we don't have to, and I'm hoping you'll never get to the stage where someone's left it that long to pay you. And even just adding that one line, so all late payments are subject to late payment law, and then in brackets 8% interest plus Bank of England base rate. The fact that it's 34p a day in that scenario, it adds up over time, and you have trained and you've worked to be able to overcome that. We want to be paid. Amazing. Now, I hope you've all had a good time. I can't see Chris, but he's on the webcam. His dog chewed his webcam wire. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. It's been a pleasure training with you today. Thank you for those that showed up live. Hello to all of those that are watching the recording. If I can be of service to you in any way, shape or capacity, please do not hesitate to reach out. You are fantastic. Thank you for the service that you do for the dogs of this world. And I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.